Thank you so much for joining in. Hi, how are you today?
Good, good. We've been
Good,
up
good.
for a while. We've been going for a while.
Y'all been doing some lives all day here. Okay, that's what's up. I'm trying to see faces. I wish I could switch you guys because I would rather see you than my face. Come on now.
Oh, you
You
Um,
can
can't see
see
us?
us?
I can see you, but because I have the little thing pinned, now I'm seeing our comment pinned versus you guys. But I can see you, Larry. I'm getting you from here
Oh,
up.
like this.
Do we need
Like
to go
yeah,
up higher?
yeah, just maybe just a little bit.
What color?
Here, you get that pillow.
Okay.
I'll get this
I
pillow.
love it. Oh, we have people already dropping comments in here. So if you have
Ooh,
any questions,
ooh.
please let us know. We're going to be talking about their new line, flawless, revamped, and smelling. Oh, it smells good, and that oil is everything. Can I tell you that oil is everything? And I'm allergic to everything, and I don't break out from it. So I was super excited about that. So yes, okay, yes, I can see you better now. Awesome, awesome. So yes, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on right now with
In
this
life
line?
or
Yes, in
Right.
life, with this line, with
What
this
hair?
hair.
but I mean, we launched Flawless on August
Oh, that's
3rd,
great. Yeah.
and the response has been tremendous,
Hmm.
overwhelming. It's it's like you have a party and you invite a bunch of people and you just don't know who's going to show up, and people have been showing up and showing out, and it's been absolutely amazing and very humbling, and it makes us
It's,
just want to work a lot harder.
Yeah.
they
We're
packed the
already talking
house.
about what's going to happen for phase 2. We have some exciting things coming up. You know,
Okay.
it's really about the passion that we have for creating amazing products for our community, for us by
Hmm.
us. That's affordable and accessible. So it's really exciting.
That is awesome. I know you saying that they showed up to this party. They packed the house. It was on Amazon, sold out. Because I was telling somebody about it, after I got my little care package. Yes, and it was sold out. And now you're in Sally's, so you're pretty much, yo. We can pull up on it and get it. We don't even have to wait in the mail.
No,
Yes.
no, I mean, because like Sally's, we were supposed to launch October 1st,
Really?
and the demand was just so high, they just launched early.
Mm.
And it's unbelievable. Adding the Sally's to the, how we were offering it through Amazon, it's through the roof. So we're trying to race to keep up with the demand and taking all of the comments. We go down a lot of rabbit holes
Yeah.
with all the comments, and we just want to try to continue to improve and make sure that we're reaching the needs of as many people as possible.
Okay.
Right.
And so for some of our audience who may have tuned in and for some reason don't know about this amazing line, it's designed for textured hair,
Yeah.
primarily moisture in mind, and it's a reformulation from something you launched a couple of years ago. Can you tell us what makes this so much more different and special to you?
Yeah, different ingredients. Well, I mean, just starting off, the company is now Black owned.
A.
And previously, I had a small percentage of ownership,
Hmm.
but not enough to be the majority voice. So if you don't have the majority voice, guess what? They don't have to listen to you. They're like, we're going to do what we want. And
Oh.
so when we were talking about the formulations originally, I wanted it to basically look like what it looks like now.
Hmm.
But we, at the time in 2017, the parabens, the silicones, all the harmful things that we, in the natural hair care industry have been working to get out of our
Hmm.
products. They left those in, and it was incredibly frustrating. And we weren't meeting the needs of Black women. We weren't meeting the needs of the textured hair community, and we
Hmm.
failed. We failed miserably. And so when that deal was up, I wrestled back control of the company. I added Larry Sims. We added Black executives and Black marketing team, Black PR team,
Oh,
and we were
wow.
going to do it our way, and it's working. And we also wanted to lower the prices were too high. The prices were too high, and it was in a store that's not in all of our communities. So
Hmm.
there's no point in changing the formulas, creating natural hair care products that actually work for all of our hair textures. And then you price people out of the solution. That actually makes you a jerk. So we lowered all of the prices. Nothing is over $10. We partnered with Sally's to make sure that where our products are sold in brick and mortars, those stores are actually in our communities, and they welcome Black and brown women into their stores. So we just want to do it all differently.
Yes.
And then you're getting high off of your own product here, because like literally curls texture is flourishing. Yes. How Larry, how has it been using the product on Gabrielle's hair because y'all been doing some hair. Giving us goals out in these streets. Yeah. How is it actually using the products? Because it's one thing to be like, hey, we have a product, but like you're tagging stuff every day. Like, I use this on her hair. What is that like?
Yeah, well, what's great about being Black owned, and for me in particular, in my role that I've been able to play in it as a professional, like we were together in the trenches, like developing the line. We were figuring out what was working, what didn't work. So it took us 2 years to come up with the formulation, that is in our bottles right now. So, it was a lot of trial and error at the beginning, but we just celebrated, for example, Gabrielle wearing her natural hair, no pieces, no wigs, no clips, her first cover, like, a Black photographer, Black
photographer for the first time shooting a cover. And that it's weird and embarrassing to even say that 25 years in the game to being shot for a cover for the first time, 25 years in at 47, as many covers as I've had over the years, the first time somebody gave a Black woman an opportunity, that we shouldn't be having these first in 2020, but as more of us, as more of Black creatives are understanding our power, and we can say, because you get so comfortable and you get so scared that if you say, can I have a Black hairstylist? Can I have a Black makeup artist? Can I be shot by a Black person, a Black woman? You get afraid that they're going to cast you out. Yeah. And I'm just not afraid anymore, and none of us are afraid anymore. So you're seeing more people get more opportunities, and the world is not ending. You know what I'm saying? Like you can center the needs and the creatives and the talents of Black women, and your product only gets better. Your production only gets better. Yes. And we're just not afraid. We're not afraid to ask for what we need.
Yeah, and we weren't afraid to rock her natural hair on that cover as well, which is a huge accomplishment for us. Yeah, it was dope.
Those curls were flourishing. Can I tell you? I'm like, it's like you had your own, the Gabrielle Wind right here in the yellow suit. I was like, oh, come through. Gorgeous. That gives us goals. Like, as natural girls, we're so into protective. You're natural, but you're going to cover it up. And so you came out like, hey, I'm growing my hair back from what you went through, and coming into and now I'm going to rock them on the stage for us to see. And that's so beautiful.
Listen, I still love my braids and my wigs and my weaves and the pit clips and all that. Yeah. But I wanted to be real clear that you can be beautiful and amazing and aspirational and whatever with your own hair. Yeah. That is also a possibility. And the way that it was positioned before is you had to look like this in order to be seen as worthy enough to be on anybody's cover. So I wanted to be real clear about, this is all my own hair. This is what I look like. These are my curls. And I feel beautiful exactly as I am. I also feel beautiful in a wig and a weave and everything else, but also like this. And you need to see me like this to make sure that we also show praise to our sisters and brothers who rock their own natural hair as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. I'm going to tell you, we had done a post that was about your 2 Black hairstyles, and it was like, I'm not going to throw shade to any.
We're like this.
Yeah. The #1 post on our site for like a week, folks were like, look at all this texture. And it was, your hair, the extensions, a textured bob. And it wasn't like, it was like blowout Yaki status, and it gave us like, okay, we don't have to, even if we do blow out, we don't have to be jet straight. We can do other things and still play with this thing, that the messiness of our hair, and it's okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you for that. I just want to say thank you too, because you two have been doing that on screen and everything, giving us that. And talking about Black and supporting Black, you have a new effort that's supporting Black-owned beauty brands. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the initiative is, we basically want to uplift as we grow. We want to celebrate as we grow. We come from a space where there's enough to go around for everybody. You know, I'm lucky enough to be able to have a best friend that is one of the biggest Black stars in the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And our company, that comes with certain things that make you elevated. So, you know, with us, we want to make sure that we elevate other brands that potentially don't have the access, you know, or the stage to be able to be visible and sing like Gabrielle. We teamed up with celebrity hairstylist Felicia Leatherwood, and her, you know, and her brush, her detangling
that brush is everything.
It's amazing.
Yo, and,
right.
And
So,
she just redesigned it too. Like, okay,
yes.
Sorry, come back. Yes, that brush is everything.
So we're celebrating her, you know what I mean, and her brand and her company. You know, other companies.
Mented.
Doing,
Honey Pot.
Yeah.
Ment's.
Mented. I saw Mented.
Yeah, Mented cosmetics.
Yeah.
But
The
we're going.
Band-Aids.
Yeah, the Band-Aids, the True Color band.
Yes.
But because it's just not just beauty. Like when we realized that 50% of Black-owned businesses will not exist after this quarantine.
Right.
Yeah.
So many Black-owned businesses were going out of business. We were like, we have to create a space to share our light and to share our platform and to share, if you're going to give us this platform and these pages, we're going to lift as we climb. And that's what the initiative is actually called, Lift as We Climb.
Yes.
Because, you know, there is no point in having a seat at the table if you're the only one there, and you become a part of the crew that's barricading the door to keep other people out. Yes. That's not who we are. That's not how we want to move through the world, and certainly not as business people. If we have an opportunity, other people have an opportunity. Yeah, we have to try to save as many companies as possible and businesses as possible, and that we want to encourage other folks. If you have a platform, to share the wealth, share the space. It doesn't dim your light to shine a light on other people. It just makes your light shine brighter.
Absolutely.
So what does it, like, how do we support it, or how do we get involved? Like, what does it mean for someone to be a part of Lift as We Climb?
Yeah, if you go onto the Flawless pages on Amazon, and also the Flawless IG, Flawless IG on IG, you'll see the companies that we are highlighting, and then people just basically DM us, or we search, you know, for different Black-owned companies, and we're also looking for some of the smaller companies that don't have the resources to even if they're on Amazon, they don't have the resources to advertise and market in the same way as other companies. So we try not to overlook anybody, but we're taking DMs. However you want to try to communicate with us to let us know about your company, we are open, and we're going to be doing this for as long as Flawless exists. We will be doing Lift as We Climb.
Yeah, and what's great about it too is that we actually are looking at the DMs. You know, we're on group emails. You know, they come to one of our DMs. We're sending it to the group. We're discussing it. So it's not something that is frivolous or something that people shouldn't feel like we're not serious about. We're absolutely very serious about it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful, because the first step is awareness for us to be able to celebrate anything about us. And we just love how that you've been making that a thing. I know some people whoever's just tuning in, we're talking to Gabrielle Union. I mean, if you don't know her, come on. And Larry Sims, her hairstylist and actual partner in their new product, Flawless by Gabrielle Union. So for folks who are wondering, you can go to what is your new, I'm sorry, your IG.
My IG is Gab Union.
Thank you. It's changed. That's
Flawless page. Flawless
yes.
by GU.
Flawless by GU. Yes. And so please check it out there. can we get into like what's happening now? People are asking when you doing a new movie, when we gonna see you on TV.
Funny you should mention that. The reason why we have been up so early and been working so long this morning already. So season 2 of LA's Finest drops on
nice.
Spectrum Originals right now. You can binge the whole season if you want. And for those of us who don't have Spectrum cable or Spectrum Wi-Fi or internet, whatever, Fox, and this has never happened before. Fox picked up season 1. So you can catch up. So Fox will start airing season 1 September 21st for everyone to catch up who don't have Spectrum cable. So yeah.
Winning all over the place.
Winning. This is amazing. So
as soon as I feel safe and my family feels safe to go back to filming and making sure that we're all safe and with these productions, I think I have 6 movies that I owe in the next couple years, so there'll be a lot coming out. You'll be sick of me. Yeah,
that's not possible.
No, we can't get sick. And she's like, yes, but no, we can't get sick of you two at all. And can I just comment on the fact that a lot of times when we say, oh, here's a celebrity, whomever, and their stylist, it's kind of like, oh, this is a person that does their hair. But you two have this genuine connection that we see it in the images, we see it when you're together, and it's so authentic. We love we love that. We love seeing that. It's not, like, oh, well, I have this person here who's going to be here. Everything about what you guys have been doing is so genuine, and that speaks to our audience when we're talking about not just hair care, but even how we walk out in these streets and celebrate life. Let's talk about texture a little bit. I know the line celebrates texture, and you guys are y'all black on black on black on black, everything black, right? Is there a moment, like, when did you first, like, Gabrielle, like, when did you first fall in love with your hair, like, to this point where you knew you wanted to celebrate it?
I've had a long journey of trying to get to a place of loving myself, loving my skin, loving my features, loving my hair, how it grows out of my head. And I think I'm not unique in that way, that a lot of us have had a challenging relationship with our hair and our hair texture. And we've fought our hair. We've wrestled with it. And I hate, like using words like that, because our hair isn't difficult. You know what I mean? It's just textured. And we're so programmed to think that the only acceptable kind of black hair has to look a certain kind of way that mirrors and mimics a Eurocentric beauty ideal. So it took me a long time. And then right as I was getting to a place in my 40s of like, oh, I love me. Oh, that's right. My hair fell out. I was doing IVF cycles back to back to back for almost 5 years. And I have hair now, but like from here to here, I had a hairline, thank God, which made wearing wigs easy. But from like here to here, almost like where you would put a headband, I was bald. And it would start off, and I know a lot of women who've dealt with hormonal swings, like whether that be from pregnancy or menopause or just life. It started with like a dime size spot that would open up like here or at my crown. And then over time, those little bald spots started connecting. And then it was like an oval. And then it just kept going. And I'm working nonstop. I'm in the middle of being Mary Jane. Mary Jane's supposed to be this, perfect news anchor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm beside myself. So on the one hand, I'm trying to create a baby, from my own body, and I'm failing. So I feel like I'm failing as a woman, as a mother, as a wife. I feel like my whole life is just one big failure, while at the same time having to be in the public eye. It was soul crushing. I don't know how else to be honest about that. It just was debilitating. And we were trying to figure out how to grow my hair back. So by the time, we launched Flawless the first time in 2017, I'm still bald, and they don't want to wait for my hair to grow back. So I'm trying to sell natural hair care products, but you're not seeing my natural hair Because I'm bald. And we're at work, and Larry's like,
because he can't hide nothing.
you know, like, you know, we're best friends, but it's also like he's looking over the top of my head, like, ooh, baby, ooh, okay, don't do that. You know, so we had to try to come up with ways to camouflage it for work, but also, how do we get your hair back? And we had to turn to the, you know, the kitchen sink, and you know, my grandmother was called Mama Helen. So like Mama Helen's, what did Mama Helen do when, you know, when she lost her hair? What did, you know, what did my other grandmas do? What did his grandmas do? And his mothers and our mother. We had to go back to the back country, and we just tried natural ingredients, and we kept copious notes. We're like, okay, there's a bug. Got a magnifying glass. Like, it was, every little bit was like winning, you know, winning an Oscar. And so we just took notes about what worked, what didn't work. And then we tried those things on other hair hair textures. So I'm a 4B. My little sister is a 4C and has 4C hair. And it was like, let's make sure it works on, you know, as many textures. And then we just did that kind of research over the years, since 2017. And now, as you can see, I got hair, still growing it, you know, and I'm just, after all that to say, I'm just now really comfortable with my own hair.
Wow.
Not having to put the fibers in, because I was loving some fibers.
Oh.
I was like, where are the fibers? You know, out in the sun, and the fibers start to come down.
Oh no.
Those fibers.
Those fibers will tell on you real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a journey, and I'm sure, you know, it's going to continue being a journey. But trying to love myself from the inside out and get my soul right has been really key to making sure that I love all of me, including my hair.
Oh, I mean, wow. Thank you so much, one, for just even being, I know you talk about it, but to be that forthright and honest with us about that whole process, because there's somebody at home right now dealing with a bald spot that is trying to figure out their life. Like they right now,
life, right?
Holding, and they don't know what to do with it, trying to cover it up. And you're at this place where you're really helping people be comfortable with talking about their journeys and how they get to this place of healthy hair. So I know you ain't gonna give the whole secret sauce of what's in every little product, but
they're all listed. They're all listed. They're all listed.
I get
We're not
it.
trying to slide anything, you know, in there without people knowing. We try to be as transparent and honest about the whole thing, you know, because whether it be relationship, whether that be the industry, whether that be hair care. If you're not going to be honest, it's okay to be quiet. So just lead with the truth, the whole truth, and transparency. The only way we're all going to save each other is if we're honest with each other. You know, people are like, how do you heal? It's like truth. And it's all truth ain't pretty. You know what I mean? All journeys don't end in a gold medal. Like, there's steps, there's stages, and it's a process. But we've got to be honest about it if we're going to combat it.
Yeah. Okay. Transparency and authenticity is what we lead with. You know what I mean? And people can smell BS a mile away. No one wants to feel like you're trying to bamboozle them because they feel like I'm smarter than them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just not the business in which we come from. And that's not the spirit in terms of how we live our lives. So, you know, authenticity and transparency, top notch. Absolutely.
And, you know, we hype hair, so folks is right here like, wait, how? So we got, you grew your hair, it's not edges, but you grew that section back. And we see this fuzz. What advice do we have for folks who are thinning or experiencing hair loss to help them on their healthy hair journey? Like, what's a key thing they should be doing right now?
Well, for me, I think it starts, look, we have great products. We have ingredients that have worked, like the biotin, which is amazing for hair growth and hair strength. The creatine, amazing for hair growth and hair strength. The rice oil complex, the curry butters, Those things are great, but I also feel like it starts with what you put inside of your body. You have to be healthy. This one drinks a gallon of water a day and has been doing it for years.
Got a half a gallon in today so far. Go
Right. Really
wow.
does.
Okay.
I think water, diet, exercise, and a healthy spirit all promotes hair growth, skin, beautiful nails. It all starts from what you put inside of your body.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to be patient because, you know, like you see that, you know, like I'm like everybody else. I'm on Instagram and I see the presto changeo. You put this drop in and you do this and da 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 da. Ooh, look, in a month's time, I did this last week and then now look at my growth.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to be patient. And everything is going to work a little differently on different people. But the thing is to be consistent. If the directions say this much, and I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not guilty of it. If the directions say a dime size amount, use a dime size. That's
a struggle.
You know, instead of doing the scoop, which I love a scoop. I love a healthy scoop.
Just
little does this. What's the whole scoop gonna do? Make you run out of product a lot faster. But just follow the directions, be patient, and admit if something isn't working for you.
1,000%.
And a lot of times you have to figure out what the source of the balding is. So if it's traction alopecia, like with your braids, or you're not removing your wigs, being patient as you remove your wigs with the proper wig glue removal, and you're just taking it off, you know, just kind of ripping it off, that's going to rip your hair out as well. So you have to identify what the cause is. So for things that are hormonal, there are things that you can do in terms of like what you're putting in your body. So one of the biggest things, the differences I did that I noticed a very immediate change in everything was I cut out gluten, dairy, caffeine, and alcohol. Now the last two, admittedly, I only did that for about 3 weeks. But it
just want to change our life.
So much of the inflammation that gluten and dairy causes a lot of people. And if you talk to any hormone specialist, the first thing they're going to say is, what are you eating? What are you drinking? So I met with a hormone specialist. I was like, I'm having hair loss. I can't sleep. I'm having breakouts. I'm bloated. Like I'll look like I'm in my second trimester of a pregnancy, you know, by noon. I wake up flat stomach by noon. I'm bloated. My face looks like this. I got one of those really hard, painful zits underneath, you know, my skin. And the first thing the woman said was cut out dairy, gluten, alcohol, and caffeine for 3 weeks and tell me what the difference was. So that was a big difference. Immediately, like I would say by day 3, the bloat, that cut it all out. Okay. So I'm one of those people whose ankles swell. I just retain a lot of water in my ankles. It'll look like a cankle. So if these are things that you also are dealing with, you're dealing with a lot of inflammation in your body, and that inflammation also affects, your hair growth. So these are things that you can do without buying a single, product, just cutting things out of your diet and seeing if those things make a difference. And if you're doing all of that, it's not the traction alopecia. You might want to go to a dermatologist to see if there's any other kind of, irritation or infection that you're dealing with that you might need antibiotics for. Because we have no idea all of the things that can actually affect our hair growth. And it's not just about what we're putting on our hair and on our scalp. It's what we're putting in our body. And it all has to work together.
Absolutely.
Wow. I mean, you dropped like 50 gems just now. Not just one or two, like 50. Like, all right, so we have to rethink our lives again. I know we talk about this a lot, but just hearing it from someone else that's actually practicing it, it helps. Because, we'll write all day long, drink water, and like, yeah, that's cool. But how I'm going to get moisture on my hair right now? Drink water.
Exactly.
Moisturize from the inside out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also, we are so used to looking at filtered lives on social media that we are expecting a filtered result versus the truth.
Oh,
exactly.
So a lot of it is just you got to unlearn a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, that we are so programmed to think. You know, a lot of products that we want to pile on our hair isn't always about healthy hair styling or healthy hair looks, healthy natural hair looks. It's about being something that we're not. And we gotta, if we're gonna be real honest, we gotta really examine the anti-Blackness that exists within, you know, ourselves and within the media that we are consuming, that reinforce this negativity about our own Blackness and about how we present in the world. Yeah, so there, I mean, listen, I could go on and on.
Yes,
a lot of it has to do with, like, you got to start with self on these journeys. Vitamins. So if a vitamin tastes like candy, it has a lot of sugar in it. And if your body has issues with how you absorb sugar, it's probably not going to be helpful for you.
Right.
So people will pop those hair gummies that taste sweet and aren't having success, that like you see in the ads and stuff. And it might just be how your body is absorbing the sugar, or it's how the ingredients and how the different, what am I talking about? The proteins and the minerals and all that stuff that go into the vitamins.
Yeah.
If your body isn't absorbing them, or you're not drinking enough water for your body to help your body actually absorb them, you're just taking vitamins, and it's just really for your
because it tastes good
developed, but it's not actually helping.
Right.
Or you can help it along with increasing your water intake, and making sure that your body's actually absorbing these minerals and you know, different proteins.
Yeah, and you have to be honest with yourself too. Like, if your balding or thinning is hereditary, that's something that products won't help. You know, we're not here to say, use our exotic oil drops and then you're going to have hair down to your ass. You know what I mean? Like, honest about what your situation is. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to be honest about it, because once you're honest, you can really assess it and also go and get a professional, you know, to help you out with advice. But yeah, it starts with honesty within.
Awesome. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for all of these great tips, these gems, talking about this hairline. I have a friend that just came in town. She's about to play in your products now. She's super excited. Before we hop off, because I know you have such a busy schedule today, can you just, maybe you two just tell us, in this journey, how do you define beauty now? Like, that's a huge question for us as we talk about our hair, and, you know, in hype hair, in black hair, and black beauty.
You go first.
Yeah. I have a friend who I always quote when it comes to the beauty question. She actually, her name is Shonique. She's in some of our tutorials that live on Amazon and on our Flawless website. But she said, which is genius, she said, look, being flawless, or being beautiful, being flawless in particular, is looking in the mirror and seeing your flaws less. I thought that was so profound, so dope, because, you know, we have been traditionally conditioned to live by these beauty standards that don't reflect what we were born with. You know what I mean? A lot of us for years have fought against what we were naturally born with in terms of our beauty. And I think now a lot of people are leaning into what they, you know, can do to enhance what their God-given right to be beautiful is. And I really celebrate that, and I appreciate it. It's beautiful to see. During this COVID time, when people can't go to, you know, salons to see their stylists, they've had to figure it out. And you have to lean into things that are, you know, that when you wake up, you have to lean into what you look like, and you have to, you know, embrace those things. And I think that that's really super important. And also, we're not counting out, you know, whatever you choose to do. Like, for people that wear weaves, that is beautiful. That is flawless. Wigs, beautiful. I love being able to play with wigs and the, you know, diversity that it allows me to have, you know. So there's no right or wrong way. Locks, you know, your twisty girls, or your rod set girls, your wash and go girls, your blowout girls, it's all beautiful. But most importantly, seeing your flaws less and not judging yourself is such a beautiful place to be. And I encourage everybody to get there.
Well, how do I follow that? I'm like, word. what he said. I mean, it's the same thing. It's like so much of our friendship, because me and Larry met on the set of Bring It On 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so much of our journey as friends and as business people and people in this industry has been on the work that we have done on ourselves on the inside and the unlearning. You know, we are taught, and those lessons are driven home about us as Black people hating ourselves, hating our hair, hating our skin, hating our noses and lips. You know, everything about Blackness, we are taught to hate it and to wrestle with it and to tame it and all that crap. So part of me feeling my best and feeling my most beautiful is truly loving me without anything. When I first get up, crust in my eyes, you know, boogies, the whole thing, bad breath. Do I love me? Is my soul beautiful? Bet I'm beautiful. Now let me go ahead and brush these teeth. But a lot of times we're playing fix it with our exteriors when what we need to be beautifying is our soul. And to me, the more I have leaned into my family and my friends and my community, the more beautiful I feel. And the more I actively, openly, publicly combat anti-Blackness, the more strong I feel and the more rooted in my authenticity. The more free I feel, the more beautiful I feel.
Wow. We're just going to put that audio clip, like just play that around the world. See our flaws less, and the more beautiful you feel, the more free you are. Like, oh my God, that's beautiful right there. I just want to say thank you for your time, for this conversation. This is awesome. And hype hair, y'all, just celebrate us. This is really what we're about, is celebrating Black hair and Black beauty. Check out this hair collection. It's not sold out everywhere. At Flawless by GU on IG. And tune in for so many more things that we're gonna be watching. Gabby and Larry do their thing, and tune in to LA's Finest on Spectrum and Fox, and yeah.
And before you go, I do have to say, you know, culturally, as a hairstylist, Hype Hair Magazine has been a staple for me. I remember even before I was even styling hair, going down the grocery store aisles, I would go to the magazine section first and flip through my Hype Hair Magazine. And I just appreciate what you guys are doing for the community, what you stand for, what you represent. And thank you for always shining a light on us and making us look beautiful and celebrating our Blackness and, you know, and our hair in all of its different forms. So just thank you for being a staple in the work that you do.
Thank you so much. We're honored on this end. So yes, everybody, this was amazing. Gabrielle Union and Larry Sims.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. There we go. I end this. I'm smart.